Hi there. Some are saying that Pete Carroll blew the Super Bowl by a wrong play. Well, we have here a veteran newscaster and also a former sportscaster and a former linebacker, Charlie West, who's going to explain to us the real scoop, the truth about what happened at the Super Bowl. Was it a fiasco? Was it, as commentators are saying and some NFL players saying, the worst play in history of NFL? Is that the truth? What is the truth, Charlie?
I have no idea. And thanks for watching. No. Well, you mentioned the commentators, and I think most of our viewers probably have seen at least the highlights of the game, if not the entire Super Bowl game. And for openers, the Super Bowl is a championship game.
Yes.
Two best teams in the NFL are playing. Emotions run really high in a Super Bowl game. And unfortunately, the commentators at the end of the game let their emotions rule the day. There's so much speculation as to why a running play wasn't called when you have the best running back on the field who can easily get a yard.
Yes.
Why did they throw the pass? Why was it intercepted? Well, for openers, Pete Carroll, you mentioned, he's the head coach of Seattle. He oversees all the offensive calls. The quarterback did not call that play, Russell Wilson. They have an offensive coordinator who makes the call. He relays it through his headset into the quarterback's helmet, who can hear the play, who relays it to the team. They go out and do the play. Now the head coach also wears a headset. He hears the offensive coordinator's calls. If he wanted to overrule, he has the authority. He's the head coach. Chose not to. The play was done as was called. Interception. Seattle loses the Super Bowl game. Now, I know Pastor Robert here was emailing back and forth with his brother who lives in Seattle, who's a huge Seattle Seahawks fan, and there was a lot of emotion running in those emails. And that's what fans do. They get their emotions controlling them. At that level of playing professional football, a head coach, quarterback, an offensive coordinator can't be ruled by emotions. That play that was called toward the end of the game had been run by Seattle at least 4 times during the regular season successfully for a touchdown. So practicing leading up to that final game, they go into a situation like that with scripted plays. They had at least probably 6 to 10 plays that they knew if that situation presented itself in the Super Bowl, they would call that play, knowing that they had been successful with it during the season.
In other words, they're using their heads.
Yes, not their emotions.
Yes.
So this was all predetermined. If we get to this point in the Super Bowl, here's a list of plays that we've run throughout the whole season, because there's so much analytics now involved in football. It's not as if, well, we'll just flip a coin, okay, heads, let's run a running play or whatever. No, they knew what they wanted to call. And if the play did not work, if it was incomplete, they still had a timeout. They could have gone to a running play the next play. Unfortunately for Seattle and their fans, let's give some credit where credit is due. The defender of New England made a superlative defensive
He certainly
play.
did.
He intercepted the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
He made the play. And when you get to that level of athletics, their physical skills are pretty much equal. It's up here. Like they say in a lot of sports, the game is played mentally. So when you have the 2 best teams in the league playing in the championship game, it's going to very often come down to who makes the last best play. And the defender for New England made a terrific play, intercepted the ball. New England wins the game, Seattle loses. And the commentators, I think, just overstated things. That's the worst call in the history of football.
Yes.
Well, their emotions were kind of running away with them. And after the game, I didn't see the post-game stuff, but
I watched it all.
the head coach of Seattle took ownership. He said, yeah, that was our call. The quarterback said the same thing. I threw the ball. I did not have an option to do what everybody thought I should do and run the ball. So leaders lead.
Exactly.
They took responsibility. They took ownership for making that call, which they should have.
Right.
And the result was what the result was.
So Russell really threw a perfect pass. The guy just beat them into the ball.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with the pass.
Exactly.
True, the defender made the play to win the championship game for New England. And I know by now it's probably gone and forgotten. Maybe not for sports
Yeah.
fans of Seattle and some
But
sportscasters.
you are the ultimate Monday morning quarterback, right? This is the scoop, the real scoop from the Monday morning quarterback, former sportscaster Charlie West. You got the truth now. Don't blame Pete Carroll. Don't blame Russell Wilson. Don't blame the coordinator. Just blame Butler, who did a great job. He won the game for them. He had missed it before, but he won the game for them, and he knew something was happening. He knew God was giving him a good play, and he did. So go and click on the PDF, get the full story, the full truth about the Super Bowl. Thanks for watching. God bless you.